Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to install WordPress on AWS on the EC2 server. It comes with free tier, which means it's free for the first year and then you'll have to pay for it. So along with that, I'll also show you how to install SSL Certificate and also how to access your files, databases, and all of that. So let's get started. Alright, so first you need to create an account in case you don't have one. I already have one, so I'm just going to sign into it. Alright, so once you sign in, this is what you're going to see. And from here, to install WordPress on EC2, we need to launch EC2. So you can basically search for EC2 here and go there. Either you can reach it like this, or you can just go to the services and click on EC2 here. So same thing. And once you're in this page, you need to click on the running instances. I already have one instance running at this moment, but we're going to create another one for this tutorial. So click on running instances. Alright, so here click on launch instance. Alright, so here is where we're going to look for the WordPress. So you click on AWS Marketplace and search for WordPress. Alright, so we have two WordPress here. It's basically the same thing. The only difference is that this is running in an Apache server, if I'm not wrong, and this is in Nginx. And don't worry about the SSL, we'll be doing it manually here, and it's kind of easier when you choose this one. So we click on this, and yep, so this page is basically, it shows how Amazon is going to be charging us after the 1 year, not the first 1 year after that. So you can go through these charges here and click on continue. Alright, so here you need to choose the T2 micro free tier eligible, this one. Click on that and click review and launch, and yep, this is the one, and then you click on launch. So here's the important step of this whole tutorial is you need to have a unique key that Amazon will give you. This thing is pretty important, because if you lose it, there isn't an easier way to get back access to your server. So this is pretty important. So you click on create a new key pair, and I'm just gonna call it demo AWS key. Alright, so once you give your name, you need to click on download key pair. And for now, I'm just gonna save it. Okay, so let me just put that in the desktop. Alright, so click on launch instance. That's it, our instance is created now. And if you click on the launch log, you can see it's created. Now you just need to click on this link. And yep, here is our server that has just started. It's going to be loading for now, so you can edit this name over here and type in whatever site you're going to build on. So I have a domain name, so I'm just going to type that. Right, so if you come back to this tab below over here, you will see this. You get an IP address. This is the public IP. So if you copy this and open it in a new tab and paste it, and you'll see this is our brand new WordPress that we just installed. And yep, so this part is done. So we installed WordPress, and this is the domain name that you get. Now the next thing we need to do is connect your domain name to this IP address that we get, because we don't want this IP address to use the site. So if you're using Godaddy or Namecheap or something like that, you need to go to the domain control panel, and to do that we need to route this IP address to the domain name. So basically you go to service, and over here you type on root, There it is, root 53. Alright, so here's the hosted zone. So you go to the hosted zone. Right here, you need to click on create hosted zone. And here you need to type in your domain name. And once you type it, just make sure you click on the public hosted zone and not the private one. It's pretty important, so keep on public and click on create hosted zone. Right now we have our name servers. So you need to basically take this name server and go back to your domain control panel and paste it there. So click on manage. Sorry, DNS. Alright, so here's our name server page for the domain. So you need to click on change. And here's where we need to copy the one we got from Amazon to the domain. So basically we take the first one and paste it. Alright, now that is done, click on save. Alright, so the name service has been updated here. The same thing over here, and then we still need to create 2 more records for everything to function fine. So we go to create record and simple routing, click next and define simple record. So here we need to get our IP address for the website. So I'm just gonna right click new, go back to your instances to find the IP address. I should have copied it before, but I didn't. I'll just do it now. Alright, so we go back to this, and here you need to add a record. So first is www.3, and the endpoint is an IP address. That's the value we're going to give here, and all of this is the same, and click on define simple record. So here one is created. One more record is to create an empty one, so that's create record, create record, simple routing, next, and define simple record. And here leave this thing blank and go back to the choose endpoint IP address and paste your website's IP address or your instance IP address, and click on define simple record, create records. That's it. So you should be having 1, 2, 3, 4, and your name server should be updated. And that's about it. Now your website is going to be connected to the AWS. So if we check it out. Alright, so now that has been done. Alright, now the domain has been connected. Now you define the password for logging in, to your website backend. You need to go back to AWS Management Console and go to EC2. Either you can click from here or you can go to Services, EC2, and click on Running Instances and find the one that we are currently running, that is this one. So you go here and click on right click on that and go to Instance Setting and then come to Get System Log. So if you scroll down, you would find your password. It should be somewhere. Yeah, it's right here. So here it is. So the Bitnami application password is this, and you need to right click, copy, and go here, put the password, and the default application username is just user. So we type in user. and click login. Oops, that's a mistake. Oops, here it is. And there we go. So that's how you find it. Make sure you save this password. I'm just going to put it right here. Alright, now that you have access to the backend of WordPress, there are still a few things we still need to do, like getting access to the command line. And if you see the site, you can see the Bitnami banner. We want to remove that. We can do all of this through the command line, and also how to access your databases and all of that. So to do that, you need to install a software called Putty, and you can search that in Google. And here's a link. I'll also be putting this on the description so you can check it out. So you go to the website, this is the website, and you can click here to download. And there are multiple options for it. If your computer is 32-bit, you can do this, or 64-bit, you can do this one. And I already have it installed. So if you go to the installation folder of Putty, you will see that you have two applications in it. One is a generator and one is the actual application. So the first thing we need to do is open up the generator. And you remember the key that we saved for the getting access into AWS. So we need to load the key here, because we need to convert that key to be compatible with this software. So we need to convert the AWS key. So to do that, again, you click on load and choose all files. Here's the key and click on open. Okay, and save private key. So you can actually set up a password protected file for this one, but I'm not going to do that now. So I'm going to click yes and give this key a name. Alright, and click save. And that's about it. It's there. So now that it's generated, you can close this. And now you go back to your file and open the actual software. So here I already have it saved, but I'm just going to delete it and do it over again. So once this opens up, you need to take the host name, which is basically the IP address of the AWS server. So you go back here and choose the IP address and paste it here. And these are the settings we need to do in order to get access to the command line. So for this session, I'm going to give it a name. Alright, I'm going to click save. So in the session, we need to do this, and you need to go to the connection tab and click on data and type in the login username. So by default, the username is going to be Bitnami. Alright, so the next one is go to the SSH. Inside that, click on auth, and here you need to load the newly generated key that we just did. And here it is. Choose it and click open. Don't click open here yet. So we do the authentication, and next go to the tunnels, and here we need to add the source port. That's 4/8, and the destination is going to be localhost. So it will be localhost semicolon and 80. And go back to the session, click on this and click save. We're doing this so that we don't need to do this all over again every single time. So make sure everything is done. I forgot to save it. So 4 times localhost. Oops. Alright, now you click on add. Right, so go back to the session again and choose it and click save. Alright, so now that everything is set, you click on open. Alright, so here is the command line. So now you can actually open a new tab and go to localhost. Here. So this is the database of the AWS server. So by default, the username is going to be root, and the password is the same as what we saved here. There. So this is how we access the database, PHPMyAdmin, and so this is going to be the URL because we typed it in the Putty software. So localhost colon 4x8 and /phpMyAdmin. Alright, so now the next thing is we need to remove this banner here. So there's an easy way to do that. So all you need to do is type in a command. I've given this in the description. You can just copy paste it. So basically, to remove the banner, you just need to copy this command, go back to your command line and paste it, click enter, and that's it. So if you go ahead and refresh here, yep, it should disappear. So if you want, for some reason, if you want the banner back, I've also mentioned a command. You can just copy the same thing and just paste it here and it'll reappear back. And yeah, so the next one is we're gonna get SSL certificate for the domain for free. So basically you again copy this exact command, that'll also be in the description. You paste it here and click enter. Alright, so now it says please provide valid space separated list of domains. So you can just type in your domain name as it is, and it says the following domains were not included. Yeah, so it just says that www.that isn't included. So do you want it to add them? I'm gonna say yes, and enable HTTP to HTTPS, yes. Enable non-www to www, no. I mean, I don't want the www, I just want the same exact things, so I'm gonna say no. www to non-w, yes. Do you agree to these changes? Yes. It's gonna take maybe a few seconds, yes, and now you need to type in your email. Do you agree? Yes. Here is where I meant it'll take maybe a minute or so. Alright, so the SSL is done. Press enter, and now if we go back to our site, we can confirm if it's done. There we go. So we have a free SSL certificate by Let's Encrypt. So the next one, what I'm going to show you is how to access the files. So basically the WordPress directory files and all your site files to access it. So we're going to be using a software called WinSCP for it. So you can close this session on this one. Yeah, so it's WinSCP. I'm going to put this link as well in the description, so you can just click on that. Anyway, so here's the page to download it. I already have this, so I'm just going to open it up. Alright, so here, let me delete it. Let me do it from scratch. Okay, so to do this, you need to have in the file protocols, select SFTP, and the host name is, again, it's going to be your IP address, and then the username is Bitnami, and the password is again the same. And over here you need to click advanced. We're gonna load the key, and to do that you go to the authentication and click this browse button here and choose the key that we generated. Click open and click OK. Now make sure you save it so you don't need to do it all over again. Save. You can change the name if you want, and now just click login. Yep. So here is how you access all your files. You can go to htdocs or Bitnami and click on apps and WordPress and htdocs, and here it is, all the WordPress content files that we just created here. Here's how you access the backend. So yep, that's about it, guys. So that's how you do it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching.